only on ESPN.
Thanks for the primer there, Kurt. Cannot wait. The season's going to be awesome. Now, Oregon is now in the Big Ten. They're a third favorite, though, to win the national title, 8-1. The Ducks are minus 300 to make the playoff with an over-under of 10.5 wins. And they're plus 225 to win the Big Ten in their first year in that league. Here's Dan Lanning on Oregon's adjustment to the new conference.
This season is a very exciting one for our team. Our players have been working their tails off this summer. And entering this conference, there's some new challenges that are presented. Going through those summer scouting reports, you realize some of these teams that we're going to get to play, and it's really exciting. But I'll tell you, here at Oregon, we chase and attack those challenges. We're excited about the traditions that exist here in the Big Ten. We're excited about some of the venues that we're going to get the opportunity to play in, but we know that none of that really matters until you start with game one.
All right, let's bring Anita Marks and Joe Fortenbaugh back in. Sorry about that, Joe. Anita, what are your thoughts on the Ducks in their first year in the Big Ten?
I like Oregon. To me, I'll put them right behind Georgia and Ohio State. I'll go to the window. I'll place a bet. I think they've got a great chance of winning, a national championship. We heard from Coach Lanning. He's entering his third season. 12-2, went to the Fiesta Bowl last year. I think it's something they can build off of. 6th in the power rankings, 3rd best nationally in regard to the recruiting class. And boy, did they crush the transfer portal. Bringing in Gabriel from Oklahoma, getting a wide receiver from Texas A&M, a corner from Washington. So their biggest strength, arguably, possibly, maybe the best offense in the country. Their biggest weakness, their pass rush, but I think it's something that they can expand on as well. So with that being said, I think that they're going to really do a great job competing, contending, trying to win a national championship. Wouldn't be surprised they'd be top up there with Georgia and Ohio State. I'd go to the window with the Ducks this season.
Okay. Joe, you have a certain game circled for the Ducks. What are you looking at?
I do, Dalen. Thank you for asking. November 2nd, Oregon is going to be at Michigan. Anita's beloved Ducks. I like the spot for Oregon there, and especially the price you can get right now. They're laying 2.5 on the road against the Wolverines. This spread, in my opinion, should be 3.5, and I think when we get there, it's going to be north of the key number of 3, so I would bet the 2.5 now. Oregon's going to be coming off a home game against Illinois. They'll be a 4-touchdown favorite there. It won't be a big test for them. Michigan won't really be tested much the week before against Michigan State, but it's still Michigan State. They're going to get up for that game, and then they're going to have the quick turnaround. So I'd be looking to bet Oregon now at minus 2.5 before it gets to the key number.
Yeah, the over-under of 10.5 I do find interesting because you mentioned they are going to play at Michigan. They're also playing at their rival Oregon State. You're playing at UCLA, or plus also playing at Wisconsin, especially these new Big Ten venues. They make me a little nervous. I'm very interested to see how these teams adjust in these new leagues with these long trips in this first year. Let's get to another team that's a Big Ten charter member. Let's go to Michigan, the defending national champs. However, this squad is totally different. Headliners J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, now in the league along with their coach, Jim Harbaugh, out in L.A. They're 4th favorite to win the Big Ten, plus 750. 11th to repeat for the Natty at 35-1. Their win total 9.5, over plus 170, under minus 220. Take a look at the situation here with their returning production. 2nd lowest production on offense in the country, 24%, 36% overall. That is 7th lowest. Sharon Moore, who was acting head coach for 3 games last year with Harbaugh's off-the-field issue, now runs the show.
From the goal of trying to win it all every year, when you're at Michigan, that should be your goal every single year. For our team, it'll take shape in training camp, and then it'll take shape in game 1 and game 2 to see where we're at. Very excited about our team. Every team is different. Team 142, 3, and 4, they're all different. For me now, it's putting my own flavor on it, but not changing too much because obviously there's a lot of things that worked. But anything we can do to get better every single day, we're going to try to do.
Okay, Jimmy, where are you at with the Wolverines in year 1 post Jim Harbaugh?
Well done. I go under the 9.5 on the win total. It's going to be close. All right, I don't think this is a comfortable one, but I do ultimately think we get there. Look at the production that's gone. I mean, how deflating is it going to be in Ann Arbor this year when you consider the fact that you just won a national championship? Everyone was over the moon. Hall of Fame coach gone. Starting quarterback gone. 17 total starters gone. Only 1 on offense returns. You got a schedule where you're going to have a huge game against Texas early in the season. You lose that, it sets a bad tone. That Fresno State game, by the way, early in the year, that team's live, man. The Bulldogs come to play year in and year out. People don't pay attention to what goes on out there in the Valley. USC. They'll be a big favorite there, but you've got Oregon, you've got Ohio State. I just think to myself, Michigan tried for so long to restore themselves to national prominence. Harbaugh did it. They ended up winning a national title. There's no pressure this year. Expectations are down despite what anyone's telling you. I don't think anyone's going to get all that banged up if they kind of deflate, much like we saw TCU 2 years ago. Great season, and then they fell off. I think Michigan falls off here.
Okay, I mean, TCU, though, had never been there. Michigan was in the CFP the year before, then they win it the following year. So I get your point, but a little bit different. Anita, in or out of the boys from Ann Arbor?
Yeah, it's not go blue, it's low blue for me. I'm not on this Michigan team. And as Joe alluded to, right, Harbaugh's gone. J.J. McCarthy's gone. Blake Corum is gone. They lost 6 offensive linemen, 2 wide receivers. They've got a new defensive coordinator. 13 players were drafted in this year's NFL draft. Strength of schedule, 4th most difficult in college football heading into this season. Their recruiting class ranked 15th nationally. Not going to do it. So arguably, maybe they continue to have one of the top 5 defenses in college football, but so much uncertainty around that offense, not for me. Like I said, it's not go blue, it's low blue this season in college football. Sorry.
I'm going to zag here a little bit because let's talk about the schedule. Theirs is favorable, as Joe pointed out, too. Those home games against Texas, USC, Oregon, they do have that favorable home game. They only have one tough or abnormal roadie. They go out to Washington. It is a rebuilding year. There is value of plus 170. I might think about a sprinkle on the over just to zag a little bit. All right, we're going to go zagging over to EKD now with Public Plays.
It's time for Public Plays, this time college football edition. Let's start off with the national title. The Michigan Wolverines won last year, but right now their rival, Ohio State, is the most bet-on team to win this year's Natty, accounting for 23.6% of the tickets at ESPN BET. Ohio State is also the co-favorite with Georgia, plus 325 to win it all. On top of that, Buckeyes whopping minus 650 to make the 12-team college football playoff. And since we're talking about the college football playoff, the Iowa Hawkeyes are another popular bet at ESPN BET. Get this, 99% of the tickets are on this Big Ten team to make the playoffs. Now, the Hawkeyes are plus 700 to be one of the 12 teams to qualify. Iowa made the Big Ten title game last season, but unfortunately ended up losing to the eventual national champion in Michigan. Now, as for the Heisman Trophy, and this isn't too surprising, the most bet-on player comes from the SEC. That's going to be Alabama's Jalen Milroe. He's receiving 7.3% of the bets to win this award. He finished 6th in voting last season and is currently 15-1 to win the Heisman. Now, he is the 5th best odds, sitting behind, of course, the favorite in Oregon's Dalen Gabriel, as well as Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, as well as Jackson Dart. But guys, that's a look at Public Plays. Football's almost here. Get excited. Dalen, what else you got for us?